So we'll continue our video from the last one, which we did about layer 2 and layer 3. Just to give you a review that we have this diagram or this network that we built with VLAN 10 that's got 2 PCs, and then we got VLAN 20 that has 1 PC, and they are connected to a layer 2 switch, and they can talk to each other on a same subnet, 10.1.1 and 10.1.1, but to talk to a different subnet, 10.2.2, they'll have to go to a layer 3 switch where we define the interface VLANs 10 and 20 with the default gateway addresses. So once again, let's verify that 10.1.1 can talk to 10.2.2 by going to the desktop in their command prompt, ping 10.2.2, and it can. So the path it's taking obviously is going through this layer 2 switch all the way to the gateway and coming back towards this PC. And let's look at the configuration of this layer 3 switch. Show running. We have one interface that's connected to the layer 2 switch, and that interface is show interface trunk gig 01, which is trunking VLAN 10 and 20, 10 and 20 trunk here, and it's got 2 logical interfaces, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, which are the default gateways for VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. These are the default gateways. Now what we're going to do is connect another switch, L3 switch, to get some OSPF going. So we'll get this 3560 and pull a cable, straight cable, gig 02, gig 02, and imagine or pretend that this is a campus and now this switch belongs to the data center, so we'll hook up a firewall here which these PCs will access. So these 2 interfaces have come up. We'll label this guy OSPF routing L3. So we're going to have to configure this interface and this interface. This one is gig 02, gig 02. So let's configure this guy. We're configuring the first L3 switch. Let's name it host name L3 switch campus. Interface gig 02, IP address, no switch port. You have to give this command to convert the port into an L3 port so that you don't have to, by default the port is configured to be an access port or a trunk port. So you have to configure or do a no switch port. And you configure the IP address. Let's just say we're doing a transit link, which this is a transit link. We do a 10.0.0 subnet. All right. Do a no shut. And then let's go to this guy. This is a brand new switch. I'm going to configure the host name to be L3 data center. And then we go to gig 02, no switch port, no shut, IP address 10.0.0.2, should be able to ping the other guy. There you go. So now these two guys are talking to each other, and we will hang the data center subnets through a layer 2 switch here on this side, and then advertise that subnet through OSPF. So let's do that. We take a switch, and we take a firewall. That's the data center. We configure this switch. Let's just take the first one, and then we take this guy. Since this guy is a gig, we'll take a gig 0, cancel gig 01 to a gig 11. All right, so we'll make this a VLAN. We got VLAN 10 and 20 here, so let's just configure this guy to be VLAN 100, data center VLAN. So this port is going to belong to VLAN 100. That means we're going to have an interface VLAN right here. That is going to be the default gateway. The IP address would be 10, let's just say 100, 254/24. So the default gateway for the firewall will be this interface VLAN 100 all the way here. So we're going to advertise 10.1.100 in OSPF, and we'll advertise 10 and 20 in OSPF so that the routing can work between this campus and this data center. All right, let's go step by step. So now let's just go do VLAN 100 here. VLAN 100, interface VLAN 100, IP address 10.100.100.254. No shut. So we got this guy going. We just need to configure this port to be an trunk port. So let's see what port this is that we used. It's F01 and F01 on that side, which is not a default trunk. So we'll have to manually configure this guy as a default, as a trunk port, unless we want to delete this guy. No, not this guy. This guy. And then take a new cable, a straight one, and put it here. Gig 01 to gig 02. This is a default trunk port. Gig interface is a default trunk. So we will configure gig 01 here. Interface gig 01, switch port, mode trunk, which is not necessary, but just to show you, trunk allowed VLAN is 100. As soon as this guy comes up, you should be able to see show interface trunk. He's still converging. Let's see if he comes green. Show VLAN 100. Show spanning tree 1. Show VLAN brief. VLAN 100 exists. Trunk gig 01. This is gig 01. Gig 01. Show interface trunk. Big T interface gig 01. Switchboard. Trunk allowed VLAN 100. Show interface trunk. Still converging. I don't know why I did not do it the first time. Let's configure this guy. He is got this interface on gig 02. So we're going to configure gig 02. We're going to call this guy host name ECL2. Interface gig 02. Switch port mode trunk. Trunk loud VLAN 100. VLAN 100. Show VLAN brief. We got 100. Show interface trunk. Gig 102's got it. Okay. Let's go verify here as well. Show interface trunk. There you go. Gig 01 is trunking 100. So we're trunking VLAN 100 here. And as you add more VLANs in your data center, you can add those VLANs. So if you add more VLAN, 200, 300, 400, or whatever, you can add those VLANs with this trunk. So this trunk is good. The default gateway for VLAN 100 is this. Now we're going to configure the firewall to be able to reach this guy and advertise 10100 in OSPF so that everybody can talk to each other. Let's go configure this guy, this port. Gig 01 is VLAN 100. Config T interface gig 01, switch port access, VLAN 100, no shut, show interface status, and gig 01 should be not, it's not connected 01 because this port is shut down. So as soon as we no shut this guy, gig 11, this guy's going to come up too. So here's the Cisco Asa. There's no password. Config T interface. Gig 11. Interface gig 1, no shut. There you go. Came up, this one is coming up. For the firewall, you have to configure the name interface. So let's just say this is the corp. Name if corp. and security level by default is set to 0. We'll hang a server behind it, and we'll name that data center site. Okay. Now we put it at IP address, and it has to belong to the same subnet as this one, 10.100. Let's just do 1. So we got the no shut, we got the name if, we got the IP address, and the security level is 0. I think we should be able to ping ourselves as well as the default gateway. There you go. So the default gateway is pingable. So we've got reachability from the firewall all the way to default gateway. Now let's do OSPF so that I can ping from the firewall all the way to these PCs, and these PCs can reach the firewall. By default, they won't be able to ping because firewall blocks the ICMP. So let's get the OSPF part going now. So this switch now, we'll configure the OSPF on the campus config. So show IP route right now is just connected. We go into OSPF, we advertise our connected routes, which is 10 and 20. So we say 10.1.1 and 10.2.2. Quickest way is to do redistribute connected, but let's just area I would prefer doing this 254, which is the interface address, and just doing 0 instead of the mask. And then area, let's just say it's area 0. Doing the same thing for reverse mask, area 0. And then we have to enable OSPF on this link, which is 10.0.0. So the interface address of this guy is do show run is 10.0.0.1. So router, already in router, network 10.0.0.1, area 0. There you go. That's all it takes. 3 network commands, 2 to enable the VLANs and 1 to enable OSPF on this link. Do the same thing here. We'll enable the OSPF on this link and advertise this subnet. Router OSPF 1. Might be routing, router OSPF 1, network 10.0.0. What was the address? Do show run. The address was 2. Network 10.0.0.2, area 0. As area needs to match up. First neighbor came up, the only neighbor actually. So our OSPF is up. We'll have to advertise this network now. And we're done. So we should be able to see 10 and 20. OSPF routes are up. 1 and 2 are coming. So that's awesome. We should be able to now ping 10.1.1.254. Also the PC. So our connectivity now from this L3 switch to all the way here is up. These guys can come all the way and ping 254. We can test this on a PC as well. Ping 10.100.100.254. There you go. So the PCs are able to reach. Let's test this guy as well. All right. So we're good from PCs all the way to this. The IP connectivity is up. Now we need, the IP connectivity is actually up all the way here. We just have to define a default route for, enable the routing on the firewall, hang a server at the back, and then get the PCs talking to the server, and that we will do in the third video of this series. Hope this helps.